It's always, ever since I was a little kid, man, your friends, somebody ends up telling you the quote, all talk, no show, and there's always several ways of saying that, you can talk the talk, but can you walk the walk? I had my cousin Chava one time told me, talking's cheap. Any kind of talk, me talking right now, that comes to something that I've been thinking about all day today. I was thinking about like all those like inspirational videos. Not only that, but a lot of times you guys hear me talking, and there's a bit of inspiration that you get out of it. And I'm thinking about that myself. Sure, you get inspired, but that's about it. It's just, you watch these videos, you listen to me talk, and that's all it is. You're just listening. It takes a long time. Days, weeks, months, even a couple years of listening to this. Listening to those inspirational videos, listening to somebody talk, and guiding you in whatever it is you decided, that I said that inspired you, whatever. And I'm only saying this because it happens to me. And I'm taking a wild guess, and I'm saying that it probably happens to everybody. You listen to the video, you want to better yourself, you want to do better in your life, and you're going down the rabbit hole of YouTube videos and how to do this, how to do that, how to lose weight, how to talk to a girl, like how to make money, how this, how that. And eventually you start running into those inspirational videos where you start seeing famous people lifting weights and running and telling you to get up and do that and start taking care of your body mentally and physically, and only hang around people that will bring you up, inspire you to be a better person. You listen to it, and it's like, yes, you're agreeing with everything they say, and the video ends, and that's it. The video ends. Your inspiration ends. Like literally, you take a deep breath, and sometimes you don't realize it, but that's them. You say to yourself, one day you say, I could. And I watch these videos, and I'm like, when the process of the video is being played for me, I'm just totally inspired. I'm in the groove. I'm in the zone with them, man. I'm like, yes. Okay, man. I get up every morning and do this and do that and take my vitamins and be polite to people and make them and be positive and make new friends, make better friends, and whatever the video was about, And then the video ends, and then you get up, you open up the refrigerator, and you start eating garbage. Or you look up on the refrigerator and you see all the cookies in the milk, and you have one cookie, and it's like, oh, fuck it. And you start eating 5 cookies, and then you're like, man, I'm still hungry. So you grab a bowl of ice cream, and then all of a sudden your buddies call and they want to go to the bar, and then you slam down like 12 beers, but then you come home and you click on your YouTube videos and you see all these inspirational videos, and you're like, fuck, I didn't do it today. I watched it and I appreciated it, and I was admiring all of the content, but it didn't work. The videos don't fucking work. When? How? What do I do? So, I guess maybe I can tell you I know what works. Maybe this time. Maybe this will be the YouTube video that will finally do it. And I kind of already answered it. You got to watch the videos, and you got to tell yourself over and over again. And you got to tell yourself it's not going to happen tomorrow. And it's not going to happen in a few months. It's going to take years. It took years for me. Of course, you know, there's some clauses. When you're young and you experience down and out situations, you're in a rut in life. Of course, when you're a teenager, man, it is, for me, looking back, looking at teenagers or looking at the problems that I had, oh my God, man. And I'm saying, oh my God, is because they were so silly. The problems that I thought I had, they were so dramatic. Oh my God. You know, I'm wearing these cheap jeans. I'm wearing these like, I'm wearing these clothes, you know, from a cheap clothing department place. Oh my God, I gotta go to school, and everybody's gonna see me with these clothes, and people are gonna know that I come from a poor family, and I don't, and my shoes are not clean, and everybody else has got like white brand new, you know, kicks, and oh no, man, my life is in ruins. You know, no girl's gonna talk to me. I look back at that, and it's like nowadays people buy ripped up shit. People buy retro, old, and used shoes, and buy jeans that are made custom ripped, and it is so fucking hilarious, man, to know back in the days, man, I was like thinking this and that, and what a fool I was. But you don't know, man. You're learning, man. You're a teenager. What the fuck do you know, man? You're not supposed to know, because you're still growing. Your brain, when does your brain stop growing? Like around like 25, 26 years of age? I mean, I don't know. If I'm wrong, put it in the comments or whatever. Do what you gotta do. But when you're a teenager, man, you think you fucking know everything, man, and your parents are stupid, everybody's stupid, and your political views are freaking on point, and if you don't believe, you know, what I believe, you're fucked in the head. And you know, I'm a vegan and you eat meat, like, how stupid you are. Don't you know you're doing this and that to your body? And but it's, man, being a teenager, man, everything is extreme, man, to the extreme. and the whole world, you know exactly what's going on in the world. For some reason, man, when you're in high school, you think you know everything that's going on in the world. But what it is that you just have the energy. You know, your brain's freaking firing, man, so freaking fast and so smooth. You're more observant, and you have the energy to sit there and absorb it all. But going back to the inspirational stuff, as I said about extremes, when you're young. So when you're young, there's an extreme portion of like depression. You know, I was talking about all, you know, the things that are like exciting and what motivates you when you're a teenager. But when a teenager gets depressed and they have all the energy in the world, they put that energy into their depression, and they think the world is against them, and nobody understands you, and there's no way to get out, no escape. You know, the world hates you, and you can't get a job, you can't get a girl, you can't make friends, and you start doing stupid shit, and you get into more trouble. You start trying to figure out other avenues of trying to be cool. You start selling drugs, you know, to be in certain cliques. You start smoking cigarettes, and you start freaking pounding bottles of liquor, you know, to try to fit in, try to lose weight, you know. But these videos, if you do run across inspirational videos, if you do come across this podcast, you're going to listen to this podcast, you're going to watch those inspirational videos, and you're not supposed to freaking, in 10 minutes, like how long are these like inspirational videos? 5 minutes, 10 minutes of just somebody talking and lifting weights and running, and you know, you're not supposed to, like, after the video ends, there's not going to be any like fireworks and freaking like a hooray party, people busting down the door, and you go, dude, you did it. You watched the end of the video, and now you're going to be fucking awesome. No, dude. You're going to stop the video, and you're going to go, okay, I paid attention. I see what can happen. And then watch it again. A couple months go by, but you watched it every day. You kept it in your mind. A year goes by. You're still not seeing change. But the thing is, little by little, man, you're thinking more positive about yourself, and you're gaining more confidence. And all of a sudden, instead of going to a fast food place because you're hungry, you're going to, maybe I should eat a hearty salad and have a bottle of water. And then you try it one day, and you're gonna go, damn, man, freaking that salad filled me up, and that water, that bottle of water, shoot, man, it was refreshing. And not only that, but I'm not thirsty anymore. Usually, and it'll click, you'll go, man, I was drinking soda, I was drinking energy drinks, and man, it was just, you know, it felt good drinking, you know, and tasting that sugar and drinking that cool can of energy drink. But man, after I was done drinking that pop or that energy drink, I was upset because the can of pop was done. And I'm like, oh man, I need another soda. And then you would get mad because you drink the energy drink and you go, man, I got some energy, but now I feel down. I feel depressed. I got no energy, man. I'm crashing. Oh, gotta drink another energy drink. It's just, but if you drink and eat good food in moderation, you just do these little baby steps. And once again, this takes time. And when I say takes time, I'm talking months, years. It might click in your 40s. It might click in your 60s. Just everybody's going to work different. Your life experiences will affect on how you adjust to the decisions that you want to make to change your way of life. Some people will just happen to be in the right place at the right time and bump into the right people and watch the right videos at the right time, and then have the resources around them to just make it happen faster. But you don't get mad at those people. You just look at what you have and don't have like any kind of animosity to others that do it faster than you are. But that's what I was thinking this morning. I woke up and I thought about inspirational videos, and I was just chuckling, and I'm like, damn. Who watches these videos and think, like, I'm pretty sure that there's people out there that go, I'm going to watch an inspirational video, and in those 5 minutes and 10 minutes, it's going to happen. I'm going to be a better person. And then they watch the video and the 10 minutes go by, and then they end up clicking another one and another one, and all of a sudden they start watching videos about dogs and cats and bloopers, and all of a sudden they're going, oh man, I'm hungry. Pizza. Let me large pizza. It's the temptation, the urges that humans have. This it's almost like humans are not built to you're not built to be, I don't want to say perfect, but okay, this is what I'm getting at. You're born, you grow up, and your motivation is hunger, love, hydration, and to keep moving. But humans will be like, whatever it takes. Survival. I need food. Shoot, there's a chocolate cake. It's food. Eat it. Same for like liquid. You're thirsty. Whatever. Give me a beer. You need water, but it's like, you just drink something else, whatever it is, whatever's easiest. Humans don't like to do things complicated. Naturally, it's just not. Humans are not born with like this instinct to like only drink water, only eat food that is essential to a healthy well-being. You know, cavemen would just go out and freaking hunt down wildebeests and cook it and eat it. You know, it was just, that was that, and you know, evolution and food. You know, the abundance of the varieties of food came about, and then now it was like you could choose what's convenient. Oh man, we could, you know, I can just imagine, you know, the cavemen back in the days. They'd be like, oh man, I would love meat. I would love to have a mammoth steak if cavemen were still around when mammoths were around. But people would just, you know, see other things and going, oh man, it's more safe to eat. You know, if you want meat, you got to go out hunting and you could die. And plus it's a lot of hard work. You know, you see, like, you know, how humans are just like, whatever's easy. It's almost like it's amazing that how we've gotten this far in the whole circle of life. Well, let's try this, boys, and let's try running. I'll leave you guys. I'll leave you guys with that to think about. I'm gonna run a 60-second ad for a break, and this is gonna be like a test run. I want to see how things go. But of course, if you're a subscriber, you can still see what's going on. Too bad I can't see what's being played, but this would be like a good time where I can be like talking to the guests and still trying to figure out how to do the guest thing. I think it would be very wise of me to get another mic. I'd have to get a bigger table to do. I would need two cameras. Two cameras too. Oh my gosh, man. Things to think about, man. Yeah. Well, welcome back. What we were talking about during the break was about like how I'm going to need to change up my streaming equipment to properly handle a guest that comes in and plain and simply, it would be a bigger desk, another mic, and another camera. So I could have a dedicated camera on the guest, and obviously one on myself. So I think I like this mic. I like this mic. I like how I've ended up setting it up. So I would probably get another one of these mics. Unfortunately, they're very expensive. And hopefully with the 60-second commercial ads, maybe 1 year I'll be able to get another mic. But just a little side note. The more viewers you have, so this is a pitch for those of you that are watching this as a watching this on YouTube. I do want to say that you listening, and you're not here live, by having your presence in the live channel on Twitch, benefits me when I do run the ads. Technically speaking, if you want to know the facts, if I had 1,000 viewers, that would be, I would be in the 1% of the streamers on the platform. That means that I'm fucking a top dog. But if I had 1,000 viewers and I ran a 60-second ad, the ad revenue that would go to me would be pretty close to like a 75% bonus to my earnings on my channel. I should just say of my revenue that I make from like subscriptions. So it's very hard to pitch that concept to friends and family, and if you're a friend of mine and you are family, I just want to let you know that you might not have time to listen to the podcast or visually watch the podcast, or hang out and be here live during the podcast. All you have to do, this is such a cop-out, but technically speaking, all you have to do is just open up a tab on your computer or on your phone and just put yourself into the chat as a viewer and just walk away. As long as you change the viewer count, protein. Look at see my viewer count just jumped up. Protein. I was explaining to people who watch this podcast at a later time. I'm trying to encourage them to even though maybe they don't want to participate in the conversations, but they can just open up a tab and just be there as a viewer and just walk away and go about their business and give me a view, because I was talking about the new Twitch changes in commercials. I'm pretty sure you got the notification explaining how Twitch is going to automatically start running commercials for you if you don't do it manually on your own time. Is your mic boosted? No. But I'll tell you why it sounds different. Because when I'm playing a video game, I'm like this, and I got the keyboard for I'm like this far away. But since I'm doing a podcast, I can rest my hands off the keyboard. I can rest my elbows on the table, and I can have a casual conversation with you and talk business. And the business for today is having a podcast, and this is podcast number 4. And the last podcast, you are like. So hold on, bro. What's going on for you listeners out there on YouTube? Protein is saying that I got you on like 5% from normal 100%. So like he's so used to hanging out with us on the live streams when I'm playing a video game, and so I would have my mic at a fair distance. So now, but oh man, but that's what we were talking about me trying to explain to everyone, because everyone is like very upset about these automatic commercials that are going to play on your stream. Now this is probably something that's very useful because Protein he streams as well, so this is something that he probably already knows, or but yet maybe doesn't understand the advantage of. So I highly recommend that you do the ads. You hit the ads manually, because it's not set in stone on when Twitch is going to turn on these ads during your live streams. So of course, streamers were like saying, dude, like I might be on an epic speed run, and then it happens, and then all of a sudden a commercial pops up. So I advise us as streamers to just say, fine, okay. If I forget, the ads will kick in. Okay, great. That's going to benefit me. In all honesty, streamers are going to be making more money. I'm going to be making more money. But the thing is, I don't have 1,000 viewers. This is in regards to like a streamer that pushes like 1,000 viewers. Their ad revenue is going to be like dramatically increased, like even like up to 75%. But I'm pushing maybe at best, 7 viewers at best. Believe me, I've been in the hundreds. I on a normal basis. Believe me, but of course, times my decisions in life has caused me to be away from streaming, and therefore, being on the top of the hill, I got knocked off. But I'm trying to regain it. It's possible. I'm finally getting into the routine of pushing out my YouTube content after my streams, and so now you can watch me forever in time, even when I'm long and 6 feet under. You can still be watching my videos. But to sum it up, I was talking about inspirational videos and how funny it is that people think that, man, they're looking for the best inspirational video, and they watch it, and then after it's over, they're like, they're like totally into it. They're watching it and they're loving it, and all of a sudden it ends, and it's like, all right, what should I watch next? Cat videos, dog, IRL fails. You think so? I tell you what, Demon, freaking DJ Beto, when he came in on the last podcast, he was asking some pretty serious questions, man, and they were questions that I could answer, but they were pushing the limits of my emotions. And it was very hard to talk, man. It got to that point where it was very hard to try to keep my composure and answer them and with and still be a proper gentleman, and to uphold a proper podcast. But there's no rules, man. To be honest, I watched several podcasts in my time, and I would have to say that my podcasts are very unorthodox. I don't have a script. I don't personally talk about commercials. In other words, maybe in time I'll be asked to pitch a commercial on my own, but yeah, I did make it, and I ended up being fine, but it was it took a lot of energy. It took a lot of energy to get through that podcast. You guys were getting pretty serious with your questions. And what I mean by serious, I mean they were asking like very I wouldn't want to say personal questions, but they were in the flow of the podcast, and man, they were just answering, telling me questions that were just hitting the right buttons of personal emotions that would spark up. And all right, so I think I've run down my ideas on inspirational videos, but and trying to get better in life takes a lifetime. And the one thing that you need to keep in mind is with this technology, like you can watch videos, read up on journalists that talk about stuff. And what I'm just trying to say is information is easy to get, but still, we as humans still get lazy. I can say, you know what? I'm ending this podcast because something's been bothering me. I've been wanting to learn how to type. I don't know how to type. I'm doing finger pushing, and it takes me forever to type something, and I'm always using grammar checks and spell checks, and I've been telling myself that I need that practice. I need to learn that, and every year goes by and I don't do it. I have all the greatest tools, all the greatest teachers in the world, because I have the internet. And I can just search and pay, hire a teacher or whatever. But humans don't do it. We just sit there and going, I know. And then they go get something to eat, or they go to the bar, or they treat their wife or girlfriend, or they turn around and go do something else that's much more convenient, much more obtainable. Some just go to sleep, forget about it. Hey, I'm not gonna be living for 100 years. What's the point? People just live in the moment. But and that's and living in the moment is really hard. If you can live in the moment, that's definitely a gift. Because right now, we tend to be we tend to be very lazy on knowing what we have to do to make life easier, much more fulfilled. Well, we don't do it. Man, I lost my train of thought of where I was going, but okay, I do remember now. I was living in the moment. You know, one of the big flaws of humans in general is we're always thinking about tomorrow. And that's just like a little bit of a metaphor as of we're always thinking about the future. But the thing is, you can never do anything in the future right now. It's just a thought. Of course you can do things now that will make the future. You can hypothetically, mathematically calculate what the future's outcome is going to be by putting that $100 in your savings account. And if you do that like every week, it's going to be this much in the future. Like little simple stuff like that. But I'm talking about those daydreams that you have when you go to bed and you're just like, I want to have a beautiful house. I want to have a beautiful family, and I want kids, and I want to one day buy a brand new car, and those kinds of thoughts, thinking in the future. People dwell on that. They think about it all the time, but they're not doing anything about it. They're just like, I want this, I want that. But in the moment, they're in this routine of doing whatever it is that they're doing, and then they die. But they live in they never reach their goal. I kind of stopped myself because who's to say, how you're living your life now is the best way, the proper way. Am I trying to be neutral about this? Maybe so, but just as I'm talking, because this is just, I don't have this conversation planned for you guys, but I'm like educating myself as I talk, and because I don't get a chance to talk about these topics to anybody. I probably never will. So this is like my moment of talking out loud and thinking about things. Because I thought about myself for that brief moment, and I live in an apartment, and the apartment is established in a building that was like built in like 100 years ago. Like who knows, but just a very long time. And I'm happy. I'm happy here. I don't have walls to it's kind of like in a studio apartment where there's just no hallways whatsoever. You walk into the kitchen and you walk out of the kitchen, you immediately walk into the living room. And if you leave the living room, you walk right into my bedroom. And so the only door is to the facilities, for the shower and the bathroom and such. Everything is open. You walked into my apartment, you could see me sleeping. You walk into the apartment, you could see someone instantly in the living room and in the kitchen. Just, you see everybody. If there was somebody here. But some people would walk into my apartment and go, no. People have it worse. Or no, you could have it better. Okay? And I didn't want to, during my conversation, I didn't want to say that my life is not good enough, because I have a happy life. Some people might be happy about what I have here because they live in a cardboard box and they're a bum on the corner of the street. And somebody could walk in and go, damn, man, he's living pretty ghetto, man. He's got linoleum floor from back in the 80s. He's got a refrigerator that's probably 50 years old, and and it's just people are like, damn, man, won't you just get yourself a house or whatever, man. I don't want to say like how you live is right or wrong. But living in the moment is Chava's getting a hold of me. You gotta tell this boy, Chava, man, I'm streaming, buddy. And you know what he wants? He wants to go get something to eat. This is one thing that's that makes me feel great about the podcast is I think sometimes people here let me answer him and say I'm streaming I'll tell him exactly what I'm doing. Yeah, he replied fast. He's probably gonna say like, well, man, I'm hungry, man. You need to just end this stream. Or he's probably gonna say, well, man, I might just come over and join the podcast. Okay. Oop. Okay. All right. He told me what he had in mind. So, what was I getting at? I know I was talking about like living in the moment and your means of living. I guess I know there was something more like I wanted to say, but my train of thought was Chava messed it up. But living in the moment there's some great books on that ideology, but mainly the point of it all is because in the moment you can do something. You can really physically do something in the moment. Can you do something that happened in the past? No. Can you do something that's going to happen in the future? No. Like, can you physically do something in the past or in the future? No, you cannot. So the concept of living in the moment is right here and right now, and a part of what this podcast is what I'm trying to do on this podcast is something that I probably haven't seen any podcast do, or probably will not do. I'll explain a few things. Is there is this issue with the viewer and the broadcaster, the viewer and the content creator, okay? The entertainer and the person being entertained. For example, you watch a movie and you liked the movie. Not only that, but you liked the actor that portrayed a part in that movie. You watch another movie with that same actor, and all of a sudden you start watching all the movies with that actor in it. And then you tell yourself, you know what? I've never met him, but I know him. In the real world, you don't. Okay? You just see a certain persona of him. If it is a version of him, but is it really truly him or her? And the answer is no, and you already knew the answer. But with this podcast, I can probably honestly say I have the way of maybe probably you really getting to know me. And I'm not afraid to explain how you're going to learn. So what I would just have to do is just explain to you exactly what the fuck's going on in my head when I fucking do shit. And Ava probably comes at a probably good time. I'm not sure how long she was listening, but Ava was a person that always said, like, I always want to know what you're thinking. And I had said, you know, you watch someone online, and some people say, like, oh, I know him, I watched him for years, I watched all his movies, or I listened to all his music, and like I can't wait to meet him because I watched all his content, I understand him, I know that person. But then when you finally meet them, it's somewhat different. But in this case, on this podcast, if you met me in real life and physically shake my hand or physically gave me a hug, or in this case, Ava would jump on my back and tell me to giddy up. I think with this podcast, I think you're gonna know. You're gonna know me, for real. Ava has spoken to me on the phone. Am I different from this podcast through a personal phone call? I don't think so. You know, she's laughing about the piggy on the giddy up. So, but a couple podcasts ago, I was explaining like my thoughts on like when I leave the house and when I do the mundane things of going to get food or whatever. And I told you that I listen, I pay attention, to all of my surroundings, and I'm courteous of like animals that are scurrying around, because I live in this world, and there's other things that live in this world, and there's animals and insects, and I abide my surroundings. But what I was getting at is that deep in my heart, when I go about my business, those thoughts, I'm not lying. Those thoughts are in my mind every second of the day. But if you were here with me and we left to go, out to do something, I'm not going to be outright like thinking about that. Just like first and foremost, like it's not like I'm constantly like the first train of thought. What I was trying to get at is that it's something of like a second nature to me. I'm calm, I'm collective, I'm patient, I'm courteous, and you see that on my podcasts. In maybe not when I'm playing a video game, but I'm more spontaneous when I'm playing like a video game, and that's a really great thing. If somebody ever like did research on me and watched all of my videos and watched all my video gaming videos and watched me progress throughout my life on this platform, they would have an amazing perspective, a beautiful, amazing perspective of what type of person I am. They would see sides of me of being antagonizing, trolly, funny, kind-hearted, sad, sick, emotional, depressed, competitive. They would see all of that stuff, and in one way, I'm kind of curious on how to resolve that on this podcast, because maybe it'll take a guest. I think when I finally have a guest on here, I think it'll be a melting pot of all of my characteristics that will come out. Because like right now, when I'm doing these podcasts and I'm by myself, I'm super calm. I'm very conscious of every word, every syllable, every bit of grammar that I'm trying to get at with you guys, and so it's a pretty. There's a set tone to the podcast, and I get it. Shoot, like when Protein came in, like right away, he instantly like saw something different. He might have just said, "Hey, like your mic is your mic boosted?" But let me explain something, because with that simple comment, This is what's going on in my head. And this is the magical understanding of what makes Adam be Adam. Okay. Me, I know when I'm playing a game, I have my mic way over here and I'm gaming. And then when I'm doing the podcast, I'm up close and calm and collective, and I'm at the mic where you should properly have your mic. You know, if you're a singer, do you think a singer has the mic way over here when they're talking? You might hear me just fine, but I'm doing a podcast, and a singer is singing. You know, a talk show host has the mic up close to them, or they might have a lapel mic, and it's like, you know, tethered to their shirt or something. Okay, what I'm getting at here is that I'm very observant. I'm very cautious of everything that's going on right now. But protein came in and immediately saw something different, which is great. You know, anybody would have noticed that. It's like, hey, you know, your mic is boosted. But the thing is that I desire so much for people to take the time, and I say this a lot all the time in the podcasts. I want you to be, when I say I want you to be patient, people can be patient, but people are tapping their toes on the floor. They're frustrated. They're anxious. But when I say be patient, is when you're in that state of patientness, okay, maybe, if that's a word, is to open up your eyes, look at your surroundings, understand what's going on around you. Okay. And a lot of people are missing that. They're almost like missing a part of the experience of life. They're not allowing it to happen, and it can be just that that's how just society has trained. Not when you say trained, but made it a habit of just living life in a certain way, of not taking the time to be aware of your surroundings, of knowing what's going on before you express yourself in any form or fashion. And it doesn't take long to do it. I know I'm not going to change your life by saying this stuff, but as I said before about the inspirational videos, you're not going to be inspired on the first take, on the first video, on the first podcast. It takes constant, repetitive acknowledgement of the information that you desire, that you want to do in your life. Well, on that note, I'll let you. I'm trying to get used to these ad breaks, but I'll let you sit on that thought, and I'm going to go for a commercial break. And for those of you that have Twitch Prime or a sub, I'll be still talking. But until then, I'll see you in 60 seconds. Yeah, the commercials are. I figured I do the commercials like when I feel like I just need like to get my train of thought back together. Even though I had a purpose and I had a meaning that I wanted to explain. I still felt like I needed somewhat of a little bit of a setback, not a setback, but just to get myself adjusted. Talking for this long and can is something else, man. All right, well, I'll tell you what, during the commercial break, you really didn't miss much. I'm still trying to get used to it, but for those of you that had to deal with the commercial break, it's something that I feel that that needs to be done because Twitch has made it to where it's going to be mandatory if I don't manually do ads, that the ads will come during times where I don't expect it. At the moment, I don't know when they're going to happen. So I'd rather do my commercials during my convenience, during the hours, as the hours progress. So obviously, if you don't want the commercials, you do have the option to subscribe, and yeah, that's the only way. The only thing that sucks is that even though you subscribe here on the Twitch platform, you'll be able to enjoy the live stream without any interruptions. But of course, when you watch it on YouTube, if you can't enjoy it, as most people are probably going to watch this on a past broadcast on YouTube, they have to deal with the YouTube ads as well. I'm not sure how that's going to work, if the commercials are going to be incorporated into the broadcast when it's on YouTube. I would think I would have to do my own recordings of the stream, and then, oh boy, that's going to be tough. And I don't think I have enough computer space to hold every single podcast, especially when they're like 3 hours long. But enough business on that. Yeah, just going back to viewers probably really knowing who I am. They probably will. You guys probably will know who I am, and that's going to be amazing. Because when I do have the opportunity, and I know I will have that opportunity to get to meet some of you guys, and it's not going to be tomorrow, and it's not going to be this year, but it's when, kind of like that song, I'll see you when I get there. That's a great song. It's going to be utterly amazing, because you're going to make that first eye contact with me, and you're gonna totally understand everything even before I even talk. Isn't that always amazing? When you're with somebody and you can read the body language, and you can know when it's time to go when you're sitting at a restaurant. One of you always says, "Come on, let's go." And you'd be like, almost like no talking, just get up and go. No disagreements, no, hey, but, but this or that. I did run into something of that nature. I was going to get my tea yesterday, and it troubled me. I wouldn't say troubled, but it dwelled on my thoughts for quite a while. So I was at the coffee shop across the street to go get some tea, and the gentleman at the register was very kind and collective, and very polite to the customers that were ahead of me. Then I walked up and I ordered my tea. And I had my credit card out and ready to pay, and I had some groceries in my hand, and we made eye contact, and I told him like what kind of tea I wanted. And as soon as I got done telling him what I wanted, he had this like side to him, and he just looked down at his touchpad and very like very slow moving and kind of just almost like bored, or just like kind of like and just kind of just almost not knowing what he's doing on the touchpad, just kind of guessing and touching stuff. And then when he told me the price, I already know the price because I see it digitally. And he kind of just mumbles the price and I'm like, you look depressed. And he goes, no, it's not you. It's not you. Like, believe me. And he just kept on saying, trying to make some assurance that it was nothing in regards to me, and I pay and all that. And he was still, as he was walking away, he was still with his body language. No. And he got kind of like very loud about it. And then everybody at the establishment should have heard it. And it put me at a little bit of a somewhat in an embarrassment. Is I almost like was wondering, like, well, I go, you didn't have to like broadcast what you and I were talking about. And so he walks away, and I get my tea made and I leave. So it made me think of like, in like a split second, he was like very like smiling and very happy with the first customer, and then I just kind of like smiled, and I go, was it because I ordered tea and it wasn't coffee? I mean, I was paying $4 plus tip for a tea, a 12-ounce cup of tea. I don't know how much the coffee is. Is the coffee $7? And he was just, I'm making assumptions, but that's what I was thinking about when I left. Was he just upset because I ordered tea? Who knows? All I know is that his body language changed dramatically as soon as I placed my order. Maybe the tea is a little bit of, cumbersome to make. I don't know. But I'm never going to ask, like, hey, why this or that? One day. Maybe one day. But even then, he'd probably forget Oh, what day was that? Well, I don't know. And then I could be just over analyzing it, to be honest. But those things catch my attention. A lot of things like that catch my attention. And you know what that tells me also? Is I think people don't even realize, or not paying attention on what they're doing with their actions, body language wise. You know, they don't realize that they're like a book with their pages flapping open, and I can read some of the pages, maybe even read a whole paragraph, and you're advertising this language to me, but even you that are doing it, you don't even realize it. And then when somebody approaches you and confronts you about that body language, you're almost you're daunted. You're like, wait, like what? Because mentally you're blinded by your own body language, and you're like and you kind of play stupid about it. You know, like, no, I wasn't. Because I think a lot of people will think that they think that you will only know when they're happy or sad or whatever the emotion is when they verbally tell you, I'm upset, I'm happy, you know, or whatever. They don't realize that they're constantly telling the truth with their body. And for some reason, if they say, no, I wasn't. No, I wasn't happy, or no, I wasn't sad, and they will expect you to honor that when you know that they're lying. There's people that have those type of jobs, you know, like I know, like usually in like the police force, you know, there's like people that read lips, and people that are that study languages or study handwriting, and they can tell a whole. They could sit there with me and they could say, "Hey, you know, Adam, write your name." And then they'll grab my signature and going, okay, I know a little bit about your history. People, you know, somebody would go like, how the fuck do you know about my life by just looking at my handwriting? And then they start telling you. You know, for instance, like if you don't connect. If you write your name in cursive and you don't connect certain letters to each other and all that, well, wouldn't that mean in somewhat like in so many ways like you don't care about certain things? I notice when I write my name, I go really slow, almost like it's like a piece of artwork. And I slowly do the curves, you know, the A and the D and the A and the M, and I make it look really nice. And I do a small little swish for the M, and then I do the V, and only the V is separated, and then all the other letters for my last name is connected. And then the Z always got a little wiggly tail at the end. Somebody that pays attention to my handwriting would go, wow, he's like very attentive. The every letter is from A to B and straight edged, and it's not like wiggly or messed up or smeared. It's one this was one continuous flow for this whole name, and then a pause, an adjustment. Your handwriting is like a musical note, yeah, kind of. You know, it says something about you. this goes back to kind of like explaining when people say, I'm not good at art. Or like oh my gosh, like I can draw a stick figure, and then even when you look at their stick figure, it's jacked up. Because they already have it in their mindset that they don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about it. And it's not, and when I say that in that kind of a tone, I'm not saying that they're lazy or they're cruel people or it's just they want to focus on other things. Drawing, putting something on paper to them is not important enough for them to put any attention to it. As long as it projects what they're trying to explain, as long as it helps them progress to the next step, then that's good enough, and that's okay, and they don't see anything wrong with that. They could draw a stick figure, or even when people draw like a map for you, like on a napkin. They'll grab a napkin and they'll grab any writing utensil. Give me anything. Give me that ketchup squirt bottle. Like anything that would make a line. Most of the time you're gonna grab like a pen. But what I'm trying to say is that's how extreme that they want to get the job done in any means. Okay, and then they'll just draw like freaking line, like, okay, here's the road, and here's some like random square, and this is the grocery store, this is the gas station, and they'll just like draw circles and squares and then a line for a road, and then they'll like write the name of the street. But and then there's somebody who cares and takes the time and starts drawing precise turning lanes, and if a street is like a 4-way street, a 2-lane and whatever, they'll add that stuff in, and they might draw the buildings like 3-dimensionally, or if you're doing a bird's eye view or a car view. And there's nothing wrong with either one. I'm just saying that people have different ways to express, and people know that, but they're so loyal to yes and no's and rights and wrongs by just being verbal. But no, that's not the case. You can tell me that you like something and hate something by not even talking to me. Somebody that's so hardcore on being verbal would have you try something. For instance, like this one time I tried coffee for the first time. Everyone in the room would pray to the coffee gods if a coffee god appeared in that coffee shop. And they wanted to get me a coffee. I didn't like the coffee. Nobody in that room was courteous enough to really think. Everybody was like, oh, that's because you haven't developed your palate yet. Just give it time. Have a couple more coffees. If I was on the other side, and me wanting someone to try something that they'd never tried before, I would be more of like, you didn't like it? Like why? I would be so curious to know, like, what didn't you like? Was it the temperature? Was it too hot? Was it too cold? Was it too bitter? Was it too sugary? Did it taste plain? Did it have any kind of taste? I wouldn't outright just be, oh, you're just not used to it. It's people already have a certain way of life, or they think like the whole world like lives a certain way, and if you don't fit in to that style, it's they're superior to you, and not in a mean way, but meaning that they feel that they're at a higher tier of whatever it is that you're experiencing, and you have not yet learned. But that's not how it works. And not only that, but there's a lot of peer pressure that goes along with that. If it was just two people dealing with that kind of experience, it probably would have went off a lot better. But since there was a whole crowd of people, now there's this like ambience, like a feeling of like a peer pressure of like I'm a coffee drinker. I gotta be cool. I gotta say something that a coffee drinker would rightfully say. I gotta honor my role as a coffee drinker, and I'll just say, oh, your tongue, it hasn't developed a good enough palate for coffee. Because it's like they're trying to keep their other. Anyways, that's just a coffee situation, but just to let you know, just like how people are living their lives. And once again, this is not a bad way to live your life, and not a like. It's just humans, man. Always like lying to ourselves a lot of times. That's why what's the key phrase I like that's becoming like super popular in the entertainment world for quite a while. Always be you got to be yourself. You got to be real. Or like even on the streets, like I kick it with that dude, man. That guy's real. Shoot, even back in the 80s, it was like, when they said goodbye, they'd like, keep it real, brother. Keep it on the down low. That had several meanings. Obviously, don't tell anybody, but also like, be cool, be chill. Don't be spreading shit around, man. You got educated. And some people just I don't want to say, but people get caught up living in a world that they think is just to their means, but all you got to do is wake up every day and just listen to what your body tells you. Wait, what's that other saying? Listen to your gut. Yeah. Listen to your heart, and don't think with your other head. It's all that stuff really means something. It's not just like a fancy way of like talking to fit in. It's because somebody had learned a long time ago, and they're trying to make it understandable, trying to put it in the simplest terms for the average Joe to comprehend. Yeah. But yeah. But I'll leave it. I'll leave it on that. I'll leave it on that. We'll end the podcast here. Today's a really short podcast. Only because I have an agenda that I want to partake in. In all honesty, and I will do another ad and end the stream there. And I will see you on the next one, man.